Well, hello guys, and greetings from Russia. Today it is gonna be an unusual video because today I'm not planning to share with you some survival skills or some building shelters or anything like this. I will not make the long log fire or something. I just planned to talk about my life, to tell you something about the facts of my life, about my further plans, and maybe to share with you some of my thoughts about Russia and about how people live here. Well, actually my initial plan was to fix my broken Soviet X, the old body, which unfortunately once again, as you can see, get off from its handle. So I need to do something with it. I need to find some proper piece of oak and try to fix it once again, because as you can see unfortunately this handle doesn't fit really well to this axe. But it is a good one and I need to keep it working. So today I will make some footage of how I'm trying to fix it, to mend this old axe. Speaking about my further plans, actually I'm just expecting for the Vietnam border restrictions to be lifted finally. So I'm waiting for the opening of the borders of the Vietnam because I'm planning to relocate there for some time. I'm not sure yet. Maybe it will be half a year, maybe a year, maybe more. Depends on the way whether I like it, I will like it or not. So the point is that I'm persistent. I'm totally confident that I will leave Russia. I'm not going to live in this country. So there are lots of reasons for this decision, and today I will tell you about one of them, which is the Russian people mentality. And the truth is that when I came to the wood, I didn't plan to make this footage, to make this record speaking about the mentality of Russian people. But a few weeks ago I saw a video from my friend from United States, who shared with me some footage of the garbage, of the trash which was left in some area where he lives, and this idea gave me the idea to make my own footage to show you what amount of trash, what enormous amount of garbage is being left by the Russian people after the Labor Day, May the 1st day celebration in the wood. So I actually cannot bear it anymore, I cannot endure it, so I took some garbage bags and I will have to gather this trash after these people who actually don't care at all about our mother nature. And I will show you this footage and you will see yourself how they treat our woods, how they treat our nature, and the careless and of these people makes me feel like I don't have anything in common with them at all. Well, of course it wouldn't be true if I would say that all the people who live in Russia are the people of such a kind, who don't care at all about the nature, who don't care about each other. But the sad story is that unfortunately the majority of the people treat nature and each other this way. So they don't care about each other at all. For example, usually mostly speaking about the people who live in the big cities, because I used to live in a big city in Moscow for a few years. And you know, how do you feel when you live there? For example, when you wake up in the morning and you leave your flat or your house and you close the door and you feel like you get in a totally hostile surrounding. So you feel like most of the people around you are your enemies, because when you're driving a car, they are trying just to push you away from the road, and nobody shows any respect to each other when you are driving a car. And when you get to the subway, you feel just the same, because lots of people and you know, everybody is struggling for their own place to get safe and to get more or less comfortable to their jobs, and just to stay there for a few hours and then go back. And you know, there was a feeling, I had such a kind of feeling when I came back from my job, that I just hadn't any strength at me at all. I just felt like I want to lay on my bed and just do nothing, because actually you don't feel safe at all. I would say that you always feel some aggression from the people around you. You feel like, you know, people from other cars, they're watching you like you're their enemy. And for example, there are lots of social difference between the people. So there are very expensive cars which cost, for example, a few millions rubles, and at the same time there are cars which cost few thousand rubles, and the difference is so huge that people from these cheap cars, they for sure that they feel envy, and they feel jealous and envious to the people who are driving these expensive cars. And life in Russia is quite a tough thing. Plus I didn't mention, not mentioning the climate. For example, when half of the year there is winter and the other half is expecting for the coming winter. And it is always, you never know whether there will be any summer period or not, will there be any hot days or not. If you're lucky, there will be some hot days in the summer, and people always try to go outdoors, to spend some time outdoors when this comes. So, long story short, as I already mentioned, I'm planning to leave Russia and to relocate to South Asia, to Vietnam in particular, for some time. I'm planning to stay there, to work, to make some footage, So the main theme of my YouTube channel probably will be changed a little bit, because it will not be mostly about the survival skills and bushcrafting, but it will be rather about the exotic life of South Asian, maybe about the expats who live there. I will make some maybe interviews with them and something like this. What else I would like to discuss with you guys is that I know a lot of interesting facts about life in Russia, about Russian history, because actually I'm a historian. I have the historical education, master's degree in education of history, by the way. So I would like to ask you, maybe you want to hear some stories about some particular part of Russian history, for example, or you maybe want to hear something about the politics and the things that happen in Russia now, about the common people life in Russia, because I don't know, maybe I should share with you some stories, because I don't think that I should stay just on making a silent video, ASMR videos with no talking, with just acting with my ex and so on, because I feel like I have something to share with you, I have something to tell, and I'm not sure, I'm not confident about the main idea, what to tell you. So it would be great, guys, if you would write me in the comments about what you would like to hear about the life in Russia, maybe a modern life, or about some history, as I have already told you, maybe about the history of my family, I don't know. So please do not hesitate, write something in the comments so I can answer the questions, and maybe I will make some more vlogs, and I will be answering these questions, and I will be speaking about the life in Russia while I'm still here and I didn't leave it. So guys, and probably you know that now it's a little bit tough times in Russia, speaking about the economy, about the politics, about the internal and external way of the politics in Russia, and it looks like we are moving to something similar to North Korea here in Russia, and that is also the understanding about the way where we move the last few years. Maybe about Alexei Navalny, and there is no opportunity for people to change anything in this country. So I think that the only reasonable way for us now, for the young people who are still active, who can do something, who can offer something to other countries, the only way is to leave Russia, unfortunately. For example, okay, if the circumstances allows you to leave, for example, if you don't have kids like I do, and you still have enough energy, you still feel like you can offer something to the new countries, if you know the language and you have some skills to be useful in the new countries. But the only way I will definitely, yes, I'm totally confident, is to leave, because there is no future in this country, unfortunately, for the most of the people. So speaking about the themes that we can discuss with you, about the questions which you can ask, I will tell you something about my life story. As I have already mentioned, I am 40 years old, and now I live in a little town not far from Moscow. It is called Obninsk. It's quite a beautiful area around. There are lots of forests, and I really like this one. But I used to live, for example, at the beginning of my life, my father was a military officer, and I used to live in a small military town, the secret one with the missiles, you know, which were held, and it was totally secret, and nobody knew where it is located. So, you know, people could not enter to this town at all because there was a wall around it, and people were not allowed to get inside. And my father still keep the secret about these missiles, despite most of them are already rusty and maybe already sold to China. I don't know. So then I moved to Moscow because I entered to the pedagogical university, Moscow State Pedagogical University, and I stood in Moscow for 10 years. It was quite a good experience for me also, because I can tell you lots of stories about living in the dorm mate for 7 years with the people, with the guys from different parts of Russia, and you know, man, the stories they told me, they were absolutely amazing, as well as the adventures that took place with us. So, for example, I had a couple of guys from Vietnam who studied with me, and they also were quite interesting persons. For sure. Long story short, guys, if you like to hear some interesting information about life in Russia, about life of the common people in Russia, about the politics in Russia from the internal view, so no, internal, external, I'm not sure. Okay, you can write some questions in the comments. I will be really glad to share with you some information about life in Russia, about the peculiarity and you know, similarity with other countries, and the difference, because there is a huge difference, believe me, between, for example, the Western civilization and the Russian way of life. According to our, for sure, our Soviet history and our you know, Russian Empire history, and the type of the country in which we live in the modern days, which is quite strange and peculiar too. So, guys, okay, you're welcome to ask me, and maybe we'll have some interesting discussion and conversation about these facts. Believe me, I have something to share with you. So, waiting for your questions. And now I will go to find some proper piece of oak to fix my, once again, broken Soviet axe, because we are going to go floating for a few days in an amazing area, in a very beautiful river. So I will stay for 3 days and 2 nights over there. I will make some footage. I suppose it will be a beautiful one, because the area is absolutely magnificent and fantastic. So I will have to fix this axe, because without it I will not be able to stay there and survive, I suppose. So let's take a look what we can do with this one. This is not a good one. This is a bullshit. Well, I suppose this one can work. It is an oak, and which is more important, it is a wet one. So I suppose it will be a proper piece of wood to fix my broken axe. I suppose this one will work. Looks a little bit ugly, but this axe is not about the beauty. It is ugly as our Soviet past. It is just as reliable. So now I will go to check out how it works. Well, doesn't look really accurate, but it's not the issue for me. The main point is that it should serve well, so I suppose it will. Well guys, this is what I meant when I was talking about the bad side of the Russian people mentality. So they come to the BBQ and they leave all the stuff in the wood when they go home. Well, you see all these plastic bottles, they just come and they just throw them away, and they don't even think that they should take the garbage, the trash with them. But this is not the most terrifying picture. I will show you the most right now. Well guys, take a look at this. All these bottles, all these glass bottles were left by the people who came here, by Russians who come here to stay for the BBQ, and they just leave the bottles in this wood. Take a look what happens here. I took with me some garbage bags, but unfortunately I don't think that I will be able to carry all this shit from the wood. So why not? You just come to the wood, you have some rest, you drink some alcohol, have a nice time, and then you just leave all the trash in the wood. Why not? Why not? Someone should come and carry it out for you, yeah? Stupid pigs. All this trash will be left here for years. And poor Mother Nature, what will happen to it? I don't know. When I see this picture, I always think that I want to leave this country as soon as possible. Because I don't want to stay with the people who think that it is normal to leave all this trash in the wood. But the majority of them unfortunately think this way. They think that it is normal. So we have lots of glass bottles of beer, bottles of vodka, and all this shows us how our Russian people treat the nature they live nearby. Perfect, isn't it? Oh, some McDonald's as well. Well, of course, I will try to gather some amount of, for example, like plastic garbage, as much as I can take with me, I will take. But, man, this is so insignificant amount of my opportunity, my possibility to help to clean out this wood. Man, this is total shit. So guys, we come to another beautiful spot in the wood, and what do we see here? People just came by with the cars and just left this building garbage in the wood. Why not? Why not? It is a normal place. And as you can see, most of the garbage it lays here not for the first day. It may be left for a few years, I suppose. So this. Oh man, so many plastic. The worst thing is that it is pretty everywhere. The trash is everywhere. Everywhere you can go, you can find the trash. Guys, the sad story is that I found all this garbage on a very small spot, maybe 100 square meters, and if you walk around, you will find some significant, some huge amount of garbage which was left by the Russians for years. And man, I don't know what happens in the heads, in the minds of these people. Why do they think that it's normal just to go outdoors and to leave the garbage, leave the trash? I don't know what happens in their minds, but definitely I am not going to live with these people around, because I don't know if they think that this is normal. Probably they think that other maybe some eerie things are normal too. So guys, this is the sad story about the Russian wood and the trash that is being left by the people in it. And you know what drives me crazy the most is that most of these people just don't care. They don't care at all. They don't care about the garbage in the wood. They don't care about the suffering people around them. They don't care at all. They just care about, I don't know, their stomach, just to fill their stomach, just to drink some vodka or some beer, just to watch some TV with the stupid TV shows. And man, I don't know how it happens in the Western countries, for example, in Canada and the United States. I hope that it is not the same, that the picture is not the same. I know for sure that it isn't. But here in Russia, man, the situation becomes worse and worse because I don't see that people improve their approach to the nature and to each other, unfortunately. And this is probably one of the main reasons why I'm going to leave Russia.